Thank you for tuning in again to Mo's Minute on Location. We are back here at Angelus Rosedale Cemetery in near Koreatown in LA, and we're visiting the grave of Hattie McDaniel. So Hattie McDaniel is best known as playing Mammy in Gone with the Wind. She was the first African American woman to win an Oscar, and she was born in Kansas. There's some discrepancies on her birth. Many sources say she was born in 1893 in Wichita, but her gravestone right there says she was born in 1895. So, at any rate, she was born to formerly enslaved parents, and she had several siblings. And so her early life was something out of the ordinary. She started out as a singer, and it was hard for African American women to get those types of positions at the time, but she always worked to get whatever advantage she could. And so she had a singing group with her sister, Etta McDaniel, and then her brother, and it was kind of like a family affair, and then she moved into acting. She got a lot of little different small roles here and there before Gone with the Wind. She had a lot of trouble getting roles. Racism kind of followed her entire life. One of the reasons that she got the role of Mammy was because she was friends with Clark Gable. And Clark Gable told Selznick, like, hey, I want Hattie McDaniel to play this part. So no one knows for sure what the truth is, and there's no one left to ask. But it's very possible that it was because of her friendship with Clark Gable and his influence that she got that role. And that role became what she is most well known for, is playing that role. Even though she was an African American woman who really made it big, she didn't always get a lot of respect within the Black community. A lot of people resented her for the roles that she took, especially the role of Mammy, because they felt that it enforced the Mammy stereotype of Black women, and they felt like it kind of glorified slavery. But she just wanted to work. She wanted to do what she loved. The Oscars that year, the year 1939, when they did the Oscars for Gone with the Wind, those Oscars were held at the Ambassador Hotel, where we will be going shortly. And she wasn't even allowed to sit with her castmates because of her race. She wasn't even supposed to be at the awards at all, but since she was nominated, they kind of made an allowance, and she had to sit in a separate part of the auditorium because of the segregation laws in LA. When Gone with the Wind premiered in Atlanta, she wasn't allowed to attend the premiere because the theater that it was held in, because of segregation laws, the theater it was held in wasn't going to allow a Black woman to go. And this was a woman who played a major role in the movie. Clark Gable, at that point, said that he wasn't going to attend the premiere either, unless she was allowed to, but she convinced him to go anyway. And his loyalty was something that I'm sure she was very grateful for. So she did win the Best Supporting Actress for the role of Mammy that year. And like I said, she was the first African American woman to win an Oscar, and the only one to win until Whoopi Goldberg won for Ghost in the 90s. When she died, she was married a few times. She never had any children. She had some health issues. So she died of a heart attack as a result of diabetes, but she also had breast cancer. And whether or not her death was due to the cancer or due to the heart attack, I'm not sure anyone knows for sure. She died in 1952. And when she died, she wanted her Oscar to be bequeathed to Howard University, which is one of the most well-known historically black colleges and universities. So Howard got the Oscar, and then in the 1960s or the 1970s, it was stolen, and it was never found. And Hattie McDaniel's family petitioned the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences for like 50 years to get another Oscar, and they kept denying it and denying it and denying it. It was not until 2023 that they allowed another Oscar to be sent to Howard University to replace the one of hers that was stolen like 50 years earlier. When she died, she wanted to be buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, but she wasn't allowed to because she was black. They still would not, at the time that she died in 1952, Hollywood Forever Cemetery was labeled as whites only. So she was buried here because Angelus Rosedale Cemetery, where we are now, is the first cemetery in Los Angeles to allow people of any color or faith to be buried here. It took now there is a cenotaph for her in Hollywood Forever, but it took several years, decades, for that to be established. And that was her dying wish, to be buried in Hollywood Forever, and they wouldn't allow it. So that's just a little bit about the life of Hattie McDaniel. I would say that she lived definitely quite the life, but it's sad that she had to deal with so many struggles and so much racism. And even though she was successful, it just always followed her. So at any rate, I hope that she is resting peacefully, and I hope that she feels that she is free. So rest in peace to Hattie McDaniel. Thank you.